you, you know. Uh, so now I was in verse 7, well, verse 6. And the Most High said, let there be a firmament in the midst. So the first day is done. So now we're in the second day. And the Most High said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. Let it divide the waters from the waters. So now you have the earth has a bowl of water. And when you go to the book of Psalm, the earth is sitting down on a big sea. A big sea. So no, the earth is not standing in the sky hanging. Nothing can stand hanging in the sky. No such thing as gravity, something called gravity, gonna be able to hold it in the sky, or it's moving but something is holding it. Gravity, from the Latin word gravitas, means weight. So this is more of a reason for the earth not to be able to stand in the sky, because if it has weight, it is going to fall. So there's nothing with weight that's going to stand in it's well in space. In space there is no gravity, which there's no weight. When you see space, this is space. Although you have space up there, anything that when you don't have a platform to hold, that's space. So this is space. If I drop this is the space. There's no such thing as there's no gravity in space. So there's no weight in space. Whatever space these people have created in their own mind, some madness where you on Earth, like me, I weigh like 175 pounds. Then I go to a place that I'm moving little by. I'm moving like dirts, and then barely able to move. But I still gotta walk though, and still hit the ground as I'm walking. So any way you look at it, so that would mean there is some type of gravity, because as the person is walking, he's touching the ground. Boom, boom, boom. Something's still bringing him to hit the ground. So that type of silly hypothesis that so-called scientists, those theories they came up with, if they actually believe in it, they must be taking a lot of crack. So now you have the bowl that's sitting, that's filled with water. That means, to begin with, there was water in that bowl. So the water had to come from somewhere. So even the creation of earth, it didn't go straight to the real beginning of before the water was there, before the bowl was there, before they came and put the bowl somewhere with water. Because this, the earth can just start with just the earth. Although the story didn't go into, well, there was a time where that earth wasn't there. And then there had to be a time where the water wasn't there. So it's just a bowl. Then there was a time where water was put into that bowl. So now the spirit is flying around that bowl of water. And like I said in the book of Psalm, I believe in Psalm 104, but I'll put it on top when the video is done. I think it's, where the earth is sitting on water. What water? Physical water, a bowl of water. And then now it says, let's create a firmament, a dome, meaning something to cover it. Like you see the building, the Dome of the Rock. It was created. It was built to resemble the earth with a dome. So a dome is like up here, the ceiling. On the inside is a ceiling, because we are on the inside. That's why we call the sky. People who speak French, we use the word ciel. Ciel, I don't know how I say it in Spanish, but I know in French it's ciel. Ciel is ceiling, ceiling. It's the same thing. So when we inside, like we're a bunch of fish inside that fish bowl, and then when we look up, we see a ceiling, something to protect it, which means we are inside the bowl. We're not like, these people who started their theory that says we on top of a ball, of a globe, like ants. You know, if the earth was created like they say, Big Bang Theory, out of nowhere, big explosion, and then everything took their proper, places, like the sun supposedly 400, times bigger than the moon. So because of this, the sun has to be 400, the distance is 400 whatever miles, whatever away, 400, the distance is 400 miles away, 100 something away, to compensate from the moon being 400 times smaller than the sun. That's how the sun being this big and the moon being this small. But because of that distance, you're able to see that the moon covered the sun in an eclipse. So out of a big explosion happened, boom, and everything takes the right places. So the sun is perfectly where it's supposed to be, where us on earth can live without burning, without feeling comfortable. That is some type of, you gotta be smoking a lot of crack or heavy drugs to create that. So let me disclaim one thing here, because I know there's gonna be a lot of sensitive people out there. They have their own religion. They say, who's this guy telling us all this BS, whatever? This is his BS. He's saying things I don't even like. I'm mad with what he's saying. If we could kill him, we would kill him. I'm mad. Why is he saying all these things? He's speaking against Jesus. He's speaking against Buddha. He's speaking against every religions. Well, first of all, freedom of religion. The same way you have your freedom to believe in your stuff, I have the freedom to not believe in your stuff and believe in my stuff. That's the first thing. So relax. You can believe in your stuff. I'm still gonna say your stuff is Bugs Bunny stuff. You can still say my stuff is Bugs Bunny stuff. I'm not gonna get mad. I mean, you have your view, I have my view. But if I see that your view is bugged out, I am going to say it's bugged out. You may feel like, I'm taunting you, I'm making you feel like an idiot. I'm talking to you like you're stupid and everything. Listen, let me disclaim this. In the world, you always have leaders and followers. You have heads and you have tails. You have the deceivers and you have the deceived. So you deceive people, the ones who got deceived. I am not talking to you. You did not create those things. You were just born and they told you those things. You just accepted them and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, sir. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to your leaders. So the deceivers, although the Bible say the deceivers and the deceived are all alike to the Most High. The Most High will kill all of them. He doesn't care. But I'm not the Most High. If I was the Most High, the earth wouldn't be like this. Wow. I don't know if there'll be anybody left, because the way this world is like, in fact, I was the Most High, I probably would kill myself first. Like, wow, this thing is so bad. So no, I probably would kill myself first. It's like, okay, how did I just sit here and just let it get to this level? So no, I'm not the Most High. The Most High, So I'm not talking to you deceived ones. Definitely not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the deceivers, the leaders, the ones that sat down, the geniuses that sat down and created those lies just to control people and get their money and get whatever they can get. I'm talking to those. I'm talking to those government leaders, the one that sat down and created those lies, and they put them in books. They make money selling the books, and they're also able to control people's mind by making them believe in these things. So all of you that are not the leaders, you're just there you're the deceived ones. I'm not talking to you. So don't even get mad. In fact, you don't even have to watch this. You can just go read another book. Go somewhere else. Go watch a movie. Go watch the game. Go watch the basketball game. Go watch something. So I'm not talking to you. But if you want to listen, try to listen without your sensitivity. The same way I can say things about your religion. I'm saying, this is crazy. The same way you can say what I'm saying is crazy too. I mean, I have no problems with that. If I say 2 + 2 = 5 and you say 2 + 2 is 6, whatever. Listen, I'm not gonna get mad if you say 2 + 2 = 7. You know, the person who taught you that taught you that 2 + 2 is 7. That's the person I'm talking to. So please, because I've already heard people saying, you're talking to people like you're talking to little kids, like you're taunting them. I'm not taunting anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody feel stupid. Well, the deceived ones. Well, the deceivers, yes, I'm talking to make you feel stupid. Because you stick your neck out, you come out and say, look, I got the truth, and this is what it is. Me, I'm coming to you and say, look, I'm questioning your truth, and I'm dismantling your truth. I'm destroying your truth. Whether they really get destroyed, I'm saying your truth are really lies. If you don't like it, if you're a leader, you're a pastor, you're a priest, you're an imam, you're in some Buddhist thing, some Hindu leader. Listen, I'm telling you, what you're saying is garbage. That's it. You don't like it, I don't care. You don't have to like it. I don't really care. I'm telling you straight up. You don't like it, what you gonna do? Just go to sleep. You can say your thing, I'm gonna say mine. So that was my disclaimer. So I don't want to hear people saying I'm making them feel stupid. Well, the leaders, yes, I'm making you feel stupid because what you're saying is dumb. The followers, I'm not talking to you. So don't get mad. You can still go to your church on Sunday, Saturday, whatever day you choose. Go to your party. Listen, but I'm still saying what they feed in you is garbage, lies. And I'm trying to use some type of little proof, some type of, I'm trying to give it a little idea, a little proof, something where if you're really trying to listen, it's almost like you're sleeping, you're feeling somebody is doing something to you, like, you're like, what is this? Damn, I feel, trying to open up your eye a little bit. Maybe you may see the little hand on your eye, hitting your eye a little bit. It's like, oh, wow, this is a hand trying to wake me up. And then the hand that was trying to wake you up because the house and the bed that you're sleeping on, the house that you're in, it's on fire. I'm telling you, wake up, get out quick. But if you want to go back to sleep, that was my disclaimer. So I don't want people to feel like I'm coming here, I'm making them feel stupid. Well, they're the leaders, yeah. The leaders, I don't care. You can feel stupid because once you're out there, you put yourself out there as a leader. It's just like Elijah when he went to battle the 400 priests of Baal. He made fun of them the whole morning. He told them, look, you got some Baal dude that you say is God, but these guys were priests. They weren't just regular guys, because Elijah understood, you guys believe in some Baal dude. You say he can do this, so we're going to prove this today. Let's see. We're not going to be talking. We're going to put a sheep here. You're going to call that Baal guy and make fire come down to cook this thing. Elijah gave him the whole morning. Noon. He's like, where's the fire? Then he started making fun of them. Where's your God? What is he doing? What is he doing? Maybe he's partying somewhere. Maybe he's in Bahamas. Maybe, what is he doing? Where yet? I'm still waiting. I've been waiting. Fire, come down. What is he doing? Is he sleeping? Wake him up. Wake him up. He made fun of them because those were leaders. Those were priests. He made them feel stupid, whether they like it or not. And after he gave them all morning, they couldn't prove anything. They didn't do anything. Then that's when he said, okay, now it's my turn. Let me show you there's a real guy up there. A real man up there that has power. It's not some made up dead guy like all the heathen gods are. It's not Jesus. Jesus not gonna do anything for you. Jesus cannot do anything. Jesus was never here. He was just a plagiarism of some other foolishness other people follow. Jesus, the people who created Jesus, they were the last one to take that story and stole it and then created Jesus. They were already Buddha. All these guys was before Jesus. They did miracles before Jesus, although they didn't exist either. By the time they stole it from some other thief that stole it from another thief. That's from another thief that started with probably one little guy who was nobody, maybe Tammuz or Nimrod, just a doodle belly. He got some ripped up pants on him, clothes. looked like a beggar, and then he got everybody to worship him as a god. And then they took that story, they turned it to like he was a sun god, he was doing this, he was doing that, and then down the line, somebody else took the story, they added some more stuff. Oh, he did this. This guy had power. He brought down the sun. He's the sun. He's this. He's everything. He's some thunder guy. He's bringing thunder like Thor. And then somebody else stole that story. They added some more throughout times down the line. And then finally, the Israelites, who's been captive slaves from so many different nations, who've been slaves since the 10 tribes became slaves under the Assyrian, the 10 tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel. Then they went there, they learned some garbage. And then, although they already had some other garbage before they went to the Assyrians, they already had some other garbage they got from the Sumerian. Well, before the Sumerian, they got it from the Egyptians. And then before the Egyptian, they had it from the Sumerians. So their mouth was already packed with garbage already from Sumerians, to the point where they say, well, the hell with the Bible no more, the hell with the Tanakh. We're going to follow Sumer religion. We're going to say, first of all, we're going to create a capital. We're going to call it Samaria, which is little Sumer. And everything they did in Sumer, we're going to put it there. So they already got a lot of garbage from Egypt, and then from Sumer. And then after this, they went to Assyria and got more garbage. And then after Assyria, then they went to the Babylonians. They went there and got even more garbage. They're collecting garbage. And then from the Babylonians, they went to the Persians. Then they collected more garbage, more religions. And then after the Persians, they went to the Greeks. The Greeks who had Egyptian garbage already in their culture. So the Israelites went and took more garbage from the Greeks. See how many garbage they already had? They already collected. And then they went to the Romans as slaves. Then they gather even more garbage. Now their bags filled with garbage. And then from the Romans, and that time, that's when they say, well, we got enough garbage. We got enough garbage. We're going to create a super religion. We're going to call it Christianity. This savior guy, like, well, we already learned there was a savior guy with the Romans. The Adonis, Drake's son name. Adonis, we already had the savior guy. So, and then around the same time, they had Mithra. Well, we also have Mithra. Says, imagine they have a bunch of statues of these guys they worship. They have Adonis. They have Mithra. They say, oh, well, which other savior we have? At that time, they should have already heard about Buddha from India, not from China, but from India, the black guy in India, another savior just like Jesus. So they already had that guy. So it's like a bunch of statues in there. Okay, we got Buddha, we got Krishna, we got Mithra, we got the Greeks. We got Hercules and his father Zeus. So we have that. So a bunch of statues they collecting. Those are all the gods. So the Greeks they have Hercules. Then the Persians say, okay, well, let's think about what we had in Persia. Oh, we have this guy Zoroaster. That's that religion, Zoroastrianism. Zoroaster, Zarathustra. We have him. He was some crazy guy that supposedly went on top of a mountain for 40 years, and he was talking to a guy named, a so-called god, whatever he looked like. That a guy. His name was Ahura Mazda. You see, that's where the call Mazda came from. Ahura Mazda. So they had this story. So that's the Persian. Then the Babylonians say, oh, we have Tammuz. That's why in the time of Ezekiel, when you read Ezekiel, the 8th chapter, verse 14, the Most High was showing Ezekiel, look at the kind of sin the Israelites are doing. They worshiping Tammuz. You see a bunch of women weeping for Tammuz. So in the time of the Babylonians, they had Tammuz. And then They got to go even more. They got more idols, more statues, more religious ideologies they have in their heads, in whatever books they were collecting. You know, even the Star of David in the Babylonian time, they already took it and said, well, you see, we're gonna call this star of King David, King David, the shield of David, the Star of David, which had nothing to do with David, because when the Israelites got to Babylon, they already had that garbage there. So they collecting things. Then Assyria, they went and followed some other BS. Wherever they went. Then before Assyria, they were already in Egypt. They already got Horus and Osiris and Ma'at, all these other garbage. They already have all these things in their head. And they already collected. And then the Sumerians before the Egyptians, where Abraham was. So in by the time of the Romans came, they had so many gods, so many things. They say, okay, we're gonna create something. This guy is a super god. We're gonna call him Jesus. We're gonna call him Jesus. And the funny thing about it, Jesus, you can see the word Zeus in there. You can see, a lot of Christians and Israelites who follow Christianity, they hate to hear that the New Testaments, those books, those letters, those love letters, they were written in Greek and Latin first, not in Hebrew. So that means that's when these books were written when the Israelites, they were under the Romans, under the Greeks, but in Greek and Latin first. So which means these books that were written in those languages could not have been written by those Israelites called Peter, John, Luke, Matthew, who didn't even speak no Greek. But they hate to hear this. They hate to hear that these things were written in Greek first, Greek and Latin first. And then later on, they were translated into Hebrew. Because if these books were really written by these guys, Matthew, they wouldn't have been written in Greek. Because Matthew was not a Greek. They should have been written in Aramaic, because that's the language they were speaking in those days, which is a different Hebrew. Where is the proof? There's no proof that, any Aramaic book of the New Testaments were found. Where are they? You cannot say the Dead Sea Scrolls. That has nothing to do with that. There's no book of Matthew in there. So where the proof? So it's just that if you Israelites, you wanna believe that Matthew wrote the book of Matthew. I'm telling you right now, even in the Tanakh, I believe in the Tanakh. I'm telling you, I have nothing to hide, nothing to say. Well, that Moses did not write the first so-called 5 books of Moses. Moses never said he wrote those books. That's later on people want to put those books, because there's a bunch of words in there that says Moses said that to the Israelites, Moses said this, Moses said that, Moses said this, and then some genius later on said, well, we're going to call them the first 5 books of Moses. Until later on, people started to analyze, say, look, Moses didn't write these books. Because Moses is talking about people that live way after him. A bunch of Edomite kings way after Moses. Moses didn't know anything about Moses writing the book in a way as if when he was in Israel, when he never saw the promised land, he never came here. Moses talking about in of Deuteronomy, when he died, nobody knew where he was buried. How would Moses do that? So no, Moses did not write those books, and definitely those Matthew, Luke, and them. They did not write those books in the New Testament. They were written in Greek first. But anyway, I see time is running. Let me get back to where I was, because so that's basically with Christianity what it is. Those of you Christians don't want to hear that it was a religion concocted by people way after Jesus, and because Israelites or Israelite and Roman thinking ideologies filled with all these garbage. They put all these religions together. They put in one. And then you got this big savior guy. It's a super savior guy, Jesus. He's doing a bunch of super stuff, major stuff. He's turning fish to a bunch of fish. You know, he's walking on water like a human being can walk on water. You know, well, anybody who believes that the earth is hanging in the sky, you definitely gonna believe that a dude is walking on water. You know, so let me get back to Matthew. I mean, not Matthew. I mean Genesis. Where was I? So he make the firmament. Damn, I was talking about the firmament. Then I went all the way to a bunch of other stories. Now I gotta come back to the firmament. Wow. Okay, I guess that's how it is when talking about the Bible. One thing trigger you to talk about something else, and now I gotta come all the way back to Genesis. So now we're talking about the firmament, the earth, a bowl of water. Then they put a roof. But if you're inside, it's a ceiling. I already broke down the ceiling, like in French, ciel. You know, that's all that means. So all this thing people talk about, when you look up there, you can keep going and it's really space. You know, like I said, I'm not talking to the deceived. I'm talking to the deceivers. You played yourself. We can see that it's a dome. From down here, you can see by looking to the left and to the right, you can see it looks like a dome. You can see the sun all the way at the bottom, rising 6 in the morning, and all of a sudden it goes across the dome, and then boom, in the middle of the dome, noon, and it's hotter right there at noon. It's like it feels like as if it's right there next to your head, and it's extra hot right in the middle, and then it goes all the way down. When it goes further away to the other side, then you don't feel it that much again. Then that's when it's gonna set. It is a dome. You know. So the firmament, and God called the firmament heaven. That's verse 8. So the firmament, it says in verse 7, make the firmament and divide the waters. So you had water in that bowl. Now that water in the bowl, which is the earth, the bowl, that water was coming from somewhere else, I mean from up there, not from the bottom. So now, just like if you have a house, you didn't put the roof yet, and people live in there, every time it rains, when you're sleeping inside of the house, you're getting soaked with water. So the Most High didn't want us to be like this, because we would have all died. He said, first, let me put a dome. Let me put a roof. Let me put a ceiling for them. When I put them in there to live, then they have protection from no water gonna be coming again to fill the earth with water, more water. And then he called that ceiling in verse 8, and God, the gods, Elohim, called the firmament heaven. He called it what? Heaven. So physical ceiling, a physical roof, he called it heaven. I said it twice already. I'm saying it twice because you got religions, especially Christianity. You die, you go to heaven. How? You die, you go where? On top of the roof? Or you go hanging on the ceiling? There's something for you to hang on? Oh no, you're a spirit. You're a spirit, you're something flying. You're Casper. Casper the ghost. You're like a little piece of air flying. You die, and then there's some air come out of you that looks like you. I don't know how that thing look. Bugs Bunny stuff. These people created stuff. There's no such thing as a spirit that's like an air. When it says the spirit in the beginning, the Spirit of God hovering up there above the water, that was a physical thing. It wasn't a spiritual thing, meaning when I say spiritual, It wasn't some air flying. This is the something of God is doing some work. Something physical. His power, his working power. Something physical. Not something invisible, just start doing work. Something physical. So this is creation is a physical story. Everything is physical there. There's nothing that is Casper flying, doing stuff. There's no Casper there. There's no Casper the ghost. There's no zombie. Listen, it's a physical people doing physical things with physical technology, whatever they use to do things. So the spirit in the beginning was something physical doing things, whether it's the technology they're using, whether it's the knowledge that the Most High has in his head, just like a person, but it has to be a physical person first, with the knowledge, with the power inside of his body, not a ghost flying. So let me get back to heaven again. And the Most High called the firmament, which is the dome. He creates, which is the roof of the earth, which is something physical. Something, if we were to fly up there, you can touch, I don't know if it's cold or hot, whatever it is. It says like crystals, you can touch it. You can get, if we were to fly up there, you see, the thing is, rich people who has access to go up there, they know. I'm sure they flew up there. They see, oh wow, look at this thing, look like a big crystal. But us poor people who have no access to up there, then we have to take their words for it. We have to take the words when they say, well, it's something you can keep going, and keep going, and never stop, keep going. No, it's something that's right there. And if you take a circle dimension, like the earth is like a half circle, because the dome, because the bottom part is where people stands inside that dome. So if people have access if you go all the way to the left with an airplane, a jet, then you go all the way to the right, the end of the earth, like the Bible say, then you if you got the distance of that, let's say that distance from one, if you know circle, you know math, from one side to the next side, that's what in a circle you call a circumference, from one side to the next side. So circumference is twice a radius. So which means, let's say it takes a whole day, 24 hours. Well, let me not say not that long. Let's say it takes 12 hours. You have a jet. You'll fly from that end of the earth to the other end. That means it's only gonna take 6 hours from the ground to up there. So that means it can't be that far. That means the sun is right there. The sun is not that far. That means the moon is right there. Whatever your eyes see, the sun is not 400 times bigger than the moon, like they say, and it's 400 times, the distance, 400 times further away than the moon. These people, I wonder why they even pick up the number 400. 400 what? Were these people smoking 400 crack pipes? Why they came up with 400 anyway? They just pick any number. They could say 200, 300. They pick 4. I don't know why 4. Maybe it's some Masonic number. I don't know. I'm not a Mason. It must be there's something behind the 4. Although I like the number 4. So there must be something. Why they say 400? The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon. Why they pick 400? I don't know. There must be a reason, but I'm not a Mason. I'm not into none of these things. So I don't know why they pick 400. So these people just sat down and said, okay, let me write it down. Let me write some BS for them so they can eat. We can deceive them more. The sun is 400 times away. The sun is big. The sun is so hot. The sun is like helium, a bunch of helium exploding. Like, all this BS. And the people sit down like, yeah, helium, yeah, right, yeah, helium. They have no proof, but they say all these big stuff. It's the same thing with Jesus walking on the water. Yes, he walked on the water. Why is it that people love to hear like lies, like big lies? You know, what about small lies? Like big, it has to be big. It has to be big. It's like, you see, when you see the star there, you see that little dot over there? That thing is a big universe. There's like, it can be a lot of planets inside that thing. And out of nowhere, you sleeping outside, like I like to do when I go to Haiti. I sleep on the roof, I'm watching the stars. And out of nowhere, you see a shooting star, and that thing just disappears, evaporates, boom. Say, wow, that was a big universe that just evaporated. Wow, how many suns just got destroyed? Oh, wow. Okay, so let me get back. So the firmament, heaven, I'm stressing the heaven thing. Because that theory, you die, you go to heaven. Heaven is physical right here. It says the sky, Genesis chapter 1, verse 8. I don't even want to leave yet. I have to stress that. Genesis chapter 1, verse 8. And God called the firmament heaven. So that physical thing to stop water from coming, this is heaven. So something that's supposed to stop water from coming on earth, when people die, they go there. I don't know. Those spirits must go and sit on top. But on top or inside? On top of it where water is still falling down? Or inside on the ceiling part where they just hang? I don't know where human beings, when you think people go to heaven, I don't know where you think the spirit, the so-called spirit, or something that doesn't even exist, that thing that leaves the body, something that leaves the body, you know, to make you alive, go in some heaven. That means, like the Most High say in the law, when you eat animals, you gotta spill the blood, because the life of the animal, meaning the spirit of the animals, is in the blood, the life. So I guess we eat the spirits of the animals, you know. If we can eat spirit of animals, we might as well start eating spirits of people. At least now help them. I'll spare them all the big travel they gotta go on top of that sky to sit down and water's falling on them. At least we might as well eat their spirits, so they don't go and sit on top of the dome and water's falling on their head, or they go sit somewhere on the ceiling hanging. You know, unless right there, you know, when you look up, maybe there's some invisible, a bunch of chairs there for them. When they die, they go sit down, you know, on one of those invisible chairs. You know, although we down here, when we look up, we don't see them. But they somehow, you know, like people with their religion say, well, they're spirits. Your eyes not supposed to see them. You know, they're invisible. You know, people love to listen to weird stuff. You know, as if use your critical thinking. Now I'm talking to the deceived ones now. I'm not talking to the deceivers. Deceivers, you're doing a good job deceiving people, but you people that's listening to these dummies, these greedy dogs, like the Bible would call them, these idiots, these fools, use your critical thinking. You know, make it make sense in your head. Does it make sense? You know, how? Shouldn't you ask for proof? If there's no proof, leave it alone. Every time I'm talking to people and I say, well, me, I don't believe in things until I see the proof. And they're like, no, it's not good to want to see the proof, because one of those days you're going to die. You know, you may want to see the devil, and then the devil comes out. Anyway, the devil does not exist. So that's another story. There's no big guy in red suit with a pitchfork. That guy does not exist. That's some garbage the heathen created. The Egyptians, the Sumerians, things that they cannot prove. The devil does not exist. Until you have proof, please do not believe in it. Until you see the devil yourself. Not when you're sleeping. Because he's not Freddy Krueger. He's a big guy. He's a physical guy. He has all this power. He should just come. In fact, while I'm sitting here, you know, I'm saying he's not exist. How about he comes? I can sit down with him and let's have a conversation. If he does exist. Even Jesus can come here too. I have a chair for him. He can come. I'll question him too if he does exist. He does not. The devil does not exist. Jesus is the devil. That's why in my other, well, when I say he's the devil and I'm saying he never existed, some people are confused. It's like, well, how can he be the devil, but he never existed? So that means when I say he's the devil, I mean that fake devil thing they created, that is Jesus. He's that serpent guy. He's the guy that's only looking to have people kill themselves, do evil stuff, to only do things that's gonna get you killed. Your life gonna be bad. You're gonna be miserable, not happiness. If this guy say, let me say a couple of things about Jesus. If he says, if you rich, you have money, go sell it and go follow him, that doesn't sound like a good idea. Obviously, this guy doesn't want you to be happy. That makes no sense. This guy say, if you have a wife, she's doing everything to you. You cannot divorce him except if she commits fornication. That means she can try to sit down and try to plot your death. She said, no, I'm not doing no fornication, but I want to poison this guy. So according to Jesus, I guess you're supposed to say, because that's not fornication, that's just poison. You know, so as long as she's not doing fornication, you better keep her. What kind of BS is this? That's why a lot of Christians, they end up killing each other. While Moses said, look, you two, it's not working out. Do a bill of divorce. Say, woman, go this way. I'm going that way. You know, go be happy over there. Go find you another man. Obviously, I wasn't the man to make you happy. Go find that man. Me, I'm going over there. Do not follow me. Go over there. That's what Moses said. Jesus said, no. You can't do this. Me, I got a better wisdom for you. What I'm saying is even better. I'm smarter than Moses. If this woman is not committing fornication, whatever he has in his mind, fornication is either physically, either she's doing some other dude down there, or doing that dude inside some temple, which I would assume that's what he meant. You know, maybe she can have sex with the dude as long as it's not inside the temple. Maybe his fornication has to be inside the temple. If you catch her doing it inside the temple, you gotta divorce her. Maybe if you catch her doing it somewhere outside in the backyard, that's okay, I guess, because that's adultery. That's not fornication. So except for fornication, which one? When you catch her sleeping with another guy inside a temple? But if you catch her outside, what is that? Is that fornication or is that adultery? In my mind, you know, he had to explain himself. Do you mean adultery except for adultery? Well, listen, there are millions of things a woman can do to a man that is not adultery that will make a man run and say, look, I don't want you no more. Something is wrong with you. But Jesus said, no, you can keep her. You know, still, you know, love that woman. You catch her while you're sleeping with a gun in your face, that's not fornication. That's just, you know, her trying to shoot you. You drinking soup, then she put poison in it, that is not fornication. That's just poison. What's wrong with that? You know, whatever you see she's doing, you see her sitting down with your enemies, trying to plot like Delilah, that is not fornication. That's just her having fun with the enemy, just having a discussion. You know, you cannot divorce her, just keep her. What kind of BS is this? You know Jesus was trying to get people to get killed. And then you go, well, you know, somebody slap you. I'm always going to say this. Just take another slap. I don't care what kind of slap he was talking about, whether it was spiritual slap, mental slap, emotional slap. Let's just say something. Even if I was to say, okay, well, he didn't really mean it like a physical slap. You know, he meant it in a different type of slap. You know, I don't know what the slap. In a spiritual slap. Whether a slap is a slap. Whether it's spiritual, you're gonna feel some pain. Whether it's a symbolic slap, whether it's just some evil words the person saying against you, you're gonna feel it. Any slap. Somebody disrespect me, I'm gonna disrespect you back. That's a slap. Somebody steal my stuff, I'm gonna take my things back from you. That's a slap. Somebody slap me, I'm gonna slap you back. That's a slap. I don't care what slap you're gonna do to me. Any slap you do, I'm stopping back. I'm stopping back real quick. I'm not even taking time. So what the hell was Jesus talking about? And then you pastors, you deceivers, you priests, you can make this make sense? There was a time I was a Christian. I was an Israelite before. In fact, I used to be on the street all the time, yelling, "You white man, you're the devil, you're gonna die." I used to do all that. I was in church every Sunday, listen to, but I could never understand the slap that he was talking about. Obviously, even Peter, when they came for him, Peter pulled out his knife and cut off that dude's ear. Obviously, Peter didn't understand his slap either, because Peter was ready to fight. And then that ghost, Jesus, that dude, is like, "Well, Peter, put the knife away. Let me put the ear back. We're not supposed to do that. Maybe it's not the time to do that." What? My enemy come for me? I'm throwing hands, feet. I'm throwing everything. I'm fighting. The only way I wouldn't fight, only if I see I'm going to lose today, then I'll come back tomorrow to fight. And like Bob Marley said, you can run away and come back another day. I'm not running away, never come back. I'm coming back. Because as long as my enemy's here, I can't sleep. So I got to take care of him. So I know you're my enemy. You coming for me. I got to go sit down and see how I'm going to come for you when you come. I'm not even going to wait for you to come for me. I'm coming for you, because I can't sleep unless I find somewhere to go hide and stay away from you. Then you can come. But as long as I'm around you, I know you're coming. I gotta wait when you're sleeping. I gotta come, or else you're gonna get me first, and then I'm gonna die, and then that's it. My life is done. No, my enemy. You coming for me. I have to think I'm gonna come for you. Or else I gotta run. You see, I'm living in a world where I have enemies, big enemies, like Nipsey also said before he died. I got big enemies, but he was talking about the gangs coming for him. He was talking about other Negroes coming for him. Me, I'm not talking about Negroes coming for me. I don't have those enemies. And if I do, I can go talk to them and see what's up. Let's deal with it. I'm talking about enemies that's bringing out disease every day to make sure I die. Enemies that send up laws to make sure I don't live. So those enemies, either I'm gonna fight, or I'm gonna go be a maroon, like Haitians during the revolution, during slavery days. If we couldn't take it from our masters, we had to run away and go stay in the mountains like maroons. That's where Haitians get neg maon from. At this point, if I cannot fight my enemy, I gotta turn to a neg maon. Like Haitian, the maon means two things. Brown, because these people, they were black people, and then Mao means you just go and hide, go disappear away from your enemies. You see, all the neg Mao, all the slaves that ran away, they went and formed a community on some mountains. And then they were called the neg Mao. And then when the right time came, they know the enemy is still going to come for them. When the right time came, they team up with Toussaint Louverture and they attack the enemies. So right now, it is obvious that black people are still slaves. And a lot of black people are descendants of Israelites. Either you're going to do like the Bible say, you can't live properly here. Your slave masters don't want you to live. So you're either going to leave and go form your own community, and all the BS that Martin Luther King said, the dream that he had, just leave that dream for him. Go live somewhere else and do like Spartacus. What do you think they call Toussaint Louverture Spartacus? Because he had that mentality, and all the Haitians, they always had that mentality to go do like Spartacus, Let me stay away from the people that's making sure I don't live right. I can't live, I can't breathe, I can't do anything. They're looking for things to put me in jail, to kill me or whatever. How about you just move away? Go form something and inform and group yourself, arm yourself, and do everything. And then now when they want to march to the mountains, and then now you'll be ready. Be like Spartacus. If you die, at least you fight for your life. Instead of staying right there in the middle. In the middle, it's like living in the living room of your enemies. And your enemies is having all type of spears sticking you. You know, black people should have been thinking about this. The minute Martin Luther King came in and said that thing, they should slap him first. You know, they should have listened to Malcolm X first. They should instead. But eventually Malcolm X, you know, he didn't really help that much. He had the right way of thinking until niggas put together with his masters, and they murdered him. You know. So the only hope black people have, the only hope right now, you have jail filled with black people. The only hope when you prisoners come out of jail, if you are not going to retaliate and fight because your enemy's been whooping you, you might as well, you pack your bags, go find your mountain, go live over there. Because as long as you living with your enemies, your life will never be good. You will always be slaves. And if, let's say, a bunch of black people say, look, we're going to fight because we don't like, we don't like the way we live in. We already marched. Black Lives Matter. Nothing happened. It's still bad. And they all say, look, we're going to get ready here in the middle where your enemy's watching you. That's a dumb move. That's a very dumb move. Why would you get ready while your enemy's watching? They watching every little weapon you get. They watching everything you get a little a stone. They say, I'm gonna gather these little stones. Then when they come after me, I'm gonna throw the stones. They see you picking up the stones and put it in a bag. After 2-3 stones, they're gonna come, where you have where you have all these stones? Who you trying to hit with those? So if black people are gonna free themselves again, like the Haitians did, and it only lasted a year or two until the house Negroes, the mulatto ones, got together with the French and set up Haiti, and Haiti went back to hell again. So Haiti was only free for how long? Maybe a couple of years, maybe 2 years. Toussaint talked some big stuff. Then they kidnapped his kids and his wife, and they brought them to France. And then he had to go there, that was a dumb move. He went there with nothing, because the Bible already teaches you, don't ever trust your enemies. So they got your wife and your kids. If you're not going to fight back, then okay. If you have my wife and my kids, I'm not going to fight back. I cannot fight you. Oh, wow. Sorry, they're going to have to stay with you. Because if I'm coming to fight. I'm not coming to sit down. And how the hell you my enemies? You've been squeezing me. You've been enslaving me. And then I'm going to come and talk to you. That makes no sense. That was a dumb move. Toussaint must have been taking crack. He must have been on crack himself. Like, why would you make that dumb move? He had nobody to tell him, what are you doing? Yeah, they already got your wife. You got your 2 children. Then they want you to come and sit down to talk, and for what? They didn't like you already. Once you asked them to be the head of Haiti, Napoleon already told you no. Even after you helped Napoleon, when the British came to attack you, you fought for Napoleon. Napoleon still didn't care because he was a racist demon. You're like, look, I cannot see a Negro with this kind of power. No, you can be a captain or whatever. You can be a captain. Dessalines, your friend, your best friend can be a lieutenant, but you ain't gonna be no general of the main guy, the head Negro in charge of Haiti. So that was a dumb move over there. And then Dessalines got mad and said, oh wow, look at how they kill him. So he went crazy, started killing everything moving, everything that looked white, he was killing. And then they used a couple of house Negroes, mulattoes, that was educated in France, meaning Pétion and Jean-Pierre Boyer. Those two, and then they came with General Leclerc from France, and then boom, shut him down, and then they fed his body to pigs, and that was it. Then after this, how many years? Like two? How many years? Not that many. After they arrested Toussaint, whatever, until Dessalines died, it's probably 2 years. After this, Haitian been slaves, and then people want to say, well, because of Haitian, we free. Yeah, those couple of years. And after this, those other Haitian that was really running Haiti, they were not for freedom for Haitians, at least not for the black ones. They were not looking at for the well-being of the black ones. So Haitians, we won't in history. Haitian, we only free for like 2 years, 2 or 3, not that many years. The other years, they were slaves because the people that came and took over Haiti, they were not Haitians. Their father, their genetic, everything, they were not Negroes, in other words. Let me say this. Let me say this with people, because if you take two different type of dogs, a Shih Tzu and a Chihuahua, you mix them, then they have kids, puppies. Then if I ask any other human being, like, okay, those puppies, what are they? Are they Shih Tzus or Chihuahuas? Everybody would say, well, they're not Shih Tzus, they're not Chihuahuas. They're just mutts. They are not Shih Tzus. They are not Chihuahuas. They are mutts. That's their name. Meaning they are nobody's sides. They're just bipolar creatures. They don't know whether they're on the right side or on the left side, because they both at the same time. So now you mean to tell me if you take two different type of human beings, you mix them together, like you take a white person and a black person, you mix them together, the kid is what? What is the kid? The kid is black? No, he's not black. He's not white either. He's a mutt. He's like a dog. He's a mutt. He's something you don't know. You can't. What is he? So that person can be used. Whoever has the power can use that person to do whatever. Whoever has the power can use that person to do whatever, because that person is neither on the right or on the left. They're like a little leaf that's from side to side with the wind. So whoever has the power, gonna use that person to do whatever. So if Haitians knew that all the kids that were mixed in slavery days, they weren't gonna be loyal to nobody except a person with power, then they would have known, they would have understood why when Pétion, who was raised by his father was a Caucasian, a white man who raped a black woman, but his father sent him to France, him and Jean-Pierre Boyer, they raised him and they sent him to France to be indoctrinated by French things because they had the power. They should have known these people were not gonna help niggas, Negroes, blacks. It's just like in our time. Let me use an example. You have Drake. He's a rapper. He's mixed. His mother's white, his father's black. His father was nowhere around. Nowhere around. So he was raised, indoctrinated by his mother. He was raised by his mother. When you go into Drake's story, you'll see, well, there were times Drake was doing racist thing against Negroes. Because in those days, when he was in those Degrassi days, his mind was more like, look, white people got the power. That's where I'm going to be. The hell with the Negroes. The hell with the other 50% black of me. I'm going to be with the 50% white. Later on, Drake, he went in and teamed up with black and started a black group. They started rapping. Then he started to make money in rap. Guess what? Now he's with black now. Although he's still with white, because white controlling the whole music thing. But he has to show some allegiance to black ones. Also, like, yo, I'm doing black music, which is rap. So I'm using my 50% black card now. Although he knows the people really in charge on top, who's signing the checks are really not black. So he has to act like, look, there's no more racists in me. I'm not gonna do the blackface thing like white people did back then. To mess with black people. I'm not gonna do that anymore. Now I'm a real nigga. I'm with the real niggas now. So that's something black people needs to start understanding. When people are mixed, they are not with either side. They're only with the side that has the power. Look at what's happening in DR right now. Most of the people over there, because once upon a time, DR was one island where a bunch of Negroes lived called Haitians before Columbus came here. They had their culture here, and they were related to people in West Coast of Africa. So they traveled back and forth. They did trades. So they Haiti, back Africa, Haiti, Africa, Haiti, Africa, Haiti, Africa. So one island. Now, the colonists came. They split it in half. One side, where I'm from, the Haitian side, that's where all the niggas are. The black ones are. But the people in power, the mulattoes, these mulattoes, they hate Haitians just as much as the white racist people, white supremacy people hate Haitians. In fact, they probably hate Haitians more. That's not telling Haitians, these mixed people, they only go with people where the power is. They don't really have no type of allegiance to nothing. If the niggas, the black ones had the power, they'll be on the side of niggas. They go whichever side. They're not Haitians, and they're not white either. They go with whoever got the power. Right now, America is running Haiti. America tell Haiti to shut up whenever to shut up, to sleep, go to sleep whenever to sleep. So these mulattoes, who they with? They're with America, France, Canada, wherever the power's coming from. And then Haitians don't understand how these mixed people, how they don't, they hate Haitians. Haitians don't even understand this. They think, oh no, we're still brothers. We're the same. No, we are not the same. So it's like in DR, the majority of them are mixed people. But because they mix, they can go either way. But who has the power? Oh, the white colonists got the power. So who are they gonna go with? With the white colonists. That's why those who are half Negroes in DR, they have no problem killing the niggas. They have no problem deporting niggas. In fact, if a Negro was to tell them, "Oh, you look black," hey, no, I'm not black. I'm not black. You know how many times I go to DR? I go to DR with my wife, Marsha, dark skin, darker than me. You know how many times she gets mad how the Dominicans come to me as if I'm a Dominican. Hey, Dominicano. And I'm joking with them. I'm Haitian. No, Dominicano. And then my wife, oh no, that's Negro. She's I'm like, I'm not Dominicano. I'm Haitian. I'm on the black side. I'm just here on vacation. I'm here with my wife. She's dark skinned, black just like me. I'm not with you. I'm not with the racist one. No, I mean, I'm gonna come on this side. That's something, well, I mean, I'm not that light, but some of them, they think I'm Dominican. I'm not Dominican. I'm not. I know I'm with the Negro wife one. I'm with the Haitians. I'm not with the side that hate Haitians.